All right, welcome. This is part 3 of the Minecraft Calculator series, talking about adders. We're going to go ahead and dive straight in. There are two different types of adders. This first type that we're going to talk about is called a half adder. Now, an adder is basically takes a XOR gate and an AND gate and uses those to make the calculation. It is a very simple 1-bit plus 1-bit adder. We can actually already do very simple calculations here. So let's break down what we see. So this first part, everything right here is taking our original signal, which we're starting with a blue wire and a yellow wire, and we're going to split it into 3 different lines. So I've got one set right here on the right, I've got one set here in the middle, and I've got one set here on the left. Now, just so you know, you understand, in Minecraft, the signal is transmitted through redstone, which is this line of powder. And sometimes if you go long enough, make a long enough signal line, the signal gets weak and you have to kind of strengthen the signal again. So that's what this thing right here, these things right here are. They're called redstone repeaters. So they are just made there to strengthen the signal. They don't do anything else to the signal the way I have it set up. So I just kind of put them in wherever was easiest and convenient. So if you watched, you should have watched the video about logic gates. So you should be familiar with what an XOR gate is. An XOR gate will just tell you will only turn on if one of the inputs is on. So in this case, I turned on the yellow input, and so the XOR gate is working. I'm getting a signal out of it. The NAND gate part is working, and the OR part is working. So here's the signal right here. And if I quickly turn them both on, then no signal. And if they're both off, there's no signal. Now, before I have been using pistons to show if there is a signal, I'm going to start using a light bulb, redstone lantern. So up at the end there, you can see a redstone lantern underneath the number 1. And if I turn one of the inputs on, then the light turns on. And if I turn both of them on, the light is off. But you'll notice that light did turn on. So that's what is how a half adder is different from a XOR gate. So we've got the XOR gate is these 3 logic gates right here, the NAND, the OR, and an AND gate. A half adder adds an extra AND gate and to it. So what's the point of that? Well, the XOR gate can tell you, okay, we'll go ahead and pretend these are 2 bits. So right now I have 0 and 0 because both inputs are off. If I turn on this input, then this is now a 1 because it's on, and this is now a 0 because it's off. And so that light turned on right there. So that's essentially saying that 1 plus 0 is 1. And I can do it the other way around. Now this one is off, and I'm turning the yellow one on. So now I got a 0 plus a 1 is 1. But an XOR gate turns off if both inputs are on. So this is like 1 plus 1. Well, obviously 1 plus 1 equals something. And in this case, it equals 2. So that's what this AND gate does here. It says if both of these signals are on, meaning if they both are ones, then I know that means something. So that sends a signal up here, and I put a big 2 over top of it to show like 1 plus 1 is 2. So going back here to the inputs, I'll go through it again. 0 plus 0 is nothing. Neither light's turned on. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is also 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So in electrical diagrams, we want to have this same sort of part symbolized. And this is a symbol that I have found for a half adder. This may be wrong, but we're going to use it. So this is like input 1, so that's like the blue wire. This is input 2, so that's like the yellow wire. Then the half adder does its thing, and you get 2 signals out. You get a sum, and you get a carry. So the sum only turns on if adding the 2 inputs together gives you 1. The carry only turns on if adding the 2 inputs together gives you 2. And and if neither input is on, then they both are off. So looking at this breakdown, kind of breaking the half adder apart, we've got an XOR gate. We used that symbol before. And we've got an AND gate. We've used that symbol before. And then breaking it down even further, this is where we saw 3 components make up the XOR gate, and we had an AND gate off to the side. And so we took our initial blue and yellow, and we split it into 3 sets of signals. We had the blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow. So the first set goes to a NAND gate, second set goes to an OR gate, third set goes to an AND gate. And then you take the output signals from the NAND gate and the OR gate, run them through an AND gate, and you get the sum. So let's flip back over to Minecraft and just show this. So, all right, so we have a NAND gate there, which on the video about logic gates, I said were pink. We've got an OR gate here. They come together to make an AND gate. So these 3 make the XOR gate, and then this is our extra AND gate off to the side. And just like when we did the binary addition, when we had 2 ones, and we ended up having a carry, a number that didn't work, couldn't be put on the bottom here, because you can't have a 2 on here. So we had to carry that over to the next column. Well, a similar sort of thing works with a half adder. Back at Minecraft, we only have, I know this output here. This is our carry output, and I know that it's going to be 2 just because we only started with 2 inputs to begin with, so it couldn't be anything else. But in a more complicated setup, which is what we'll get to next, it can be bigger than 2. So I'm not going to go into showing the full electrical diagram of a half adder. If you remember what the XOR gates diagram looked like, it was pretty complicated, and this is only going to get more complicated. So for now, at least, I am just going to leave it here at Minecraft and show kind of the broad diagrams like this one here. So now we'll go on to the next type of. Okay, so the next type of adder is called a full adder. So what does this look like? Now we have this weird green signal here, and we still have a blue and yellow. So I'm going to try to explain exactly what a full adder is, and show what you're doing with it. But it will make the most amount of sense when we get to using a calculator, making a calculator rather. So let's go ahead and get up in the air. So the first thing is this green wire. This green wire represents a carry from the that could be coming into the full adder. So just like back on the half adder, this line right here was a carry. Well, that it would be like this line coming in, and that's where this line would come to. So a half adder is usually is the first thing that you're going to make, and then a full adder comes on after that. So a full adder is going to be made up of a whoops. It's going to be made up of another half adder. So we're going to take this half adder here. This is the exact setup like we just had. And from that half adder, we'll get a new signal, which I made purple, and we'll get another carry signal. This carry signal we're going to ignore for a minute. So this left side, you can kind of see where that gold line is. So the left part, this part over here, is a half adder. And this side is also another half adder. So a full adder takes two half adders and combines them together. But the key is that when you're using a full adder, you're going to have a carry coming in, and then the sum from the first half adder is going to be combined with the carry signal for another half adder. And then this blue, the carry from the first half adder, is compared with this AND gate here in an OR gate. So let's look at a diagram to see what make it a little bit easier. So this is a symbol for a full adder. It's just like kind of how the symbol for a half adder was a box. This is a full adder. So we've got a carry signal coming. That was like the green line. We've got a one input, which we're labeling A. That was like the blue line. And then we've got a second input, which was like the yellow line, which we're representing as B. After you do everything in the full adder, you end up with a sum line, and then you end up and a carry line. So let me flip back to the Minecraft to kind of show those things off again. Okay, so we got a bird's eye view, and so again, this blue line here is like signal A. This yellow line is like signal B. The green line is C, is a carry. And after you do everything with the full adder, you'll get a sum and you'll get a carry at the end. So breaking down the full adder a little bit more, we can see that the blue and the yellow lines come in and are part of a half adder, and the carry line comes in and is part of a second half adder. So the carry becomes like signal A for the second one, half adder, and the sum from the first half adder is now signal B for the second half adder. So looking at Minecraft, this is like this is now the purple here is the sum from this first half adder, and it goes into a second half adder here along with the carry line. So everything to the left of that gold line here is like the first half adder, and then over here is like the second half adder, and then this little part down here is like that OR gate right here. So you end up with two signals, a sum and a. This is what it would look like if you break down every single gate within a full adder. So you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different gates all put together for a full adder. I'm not going to go back and flip back and forth between this diagram and Minecraft because there's a whole lot of back and forth, but I will go ahead and leave this up for a second, and then I'll leave the picture at Minecraft up for a second. And if you're trying to make it based off of this, hopefully that's enough information. Just like with the half adder, I'm not going to go through and make electrical diagram for the full adder with all the transistors. That would just be way too much and probably not very useful unless you're really trying to get into that. And this is probably not the best source if you're trying to get into that. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. We looked at half adders, we looked at full adders, and in the next video, we're going to look at how to combine those together to make a calculator. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day full of laughter and joy, and I'll see you next time.